G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is April 6, 2023. This is the US crude oil price update. On the daily, 4 hourly and the hourly timeframes, overall we're in a downtrend still on a daily as per the CCI 1500 moving average 400, whereas the 4 hourly and the hourly are in uptrends. So just be careful about going long, especially we've been hitting this key resistance area, and I'll drill down to these in a bit more detail. So you can see there I've got this solid red line and this dotted line, and it's actually changed the resistance area, and I'll change that, remove that. Actually, I'll delete the dotted line, which was a forming resistance, and it's now that resistance has moved just those wicks, just a very slight change in resistance area. But also notice I'm going to keep this diagonal descending trend line because it may well come down and rest on that if it continues to the downside. So you can see there it's bounced off that resistance area for a few days now, and that's in line with the moving average of the CCI still in decline. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see it more clearly there. It's been bouncing along there and we're still in a decline, and I've drawn a Fibonacci retracement here. So initially when it broke that 61% level, and it also broke that descending trend line, that was our key signal that the potential reversal was happening, and that's where those new highs happened to gapped up there at the start of the week. So that's where it just always respect that 61%. If it breaks that, there's a potential for a trend reversal. So that confirms the 4 hour trend, although just be mindful on the daily we're still in a downtrend. On a 1 hour time frame, again that's just showing you the previous Fibonacci retracement in that period there. I also did demonstrate, for those new to the channel, I did demonstrate in this little range between that low and that high, the price did go up, it came back down to the 61%, and then it bounced from there. So that would have been a nice little area to go long in accordance with the 4 hour time frame. Remember, always trade the lower time frame in accordance with the higher time frame. So in this case, the 4 hour was in a long trend, and you can trade long, carefully trade long on the hourly time frame. Although I wouldn't be trading the 4 hour time frame because in direction of the daily, because the daily is going short. So avoid going long on the 4 hour time frame if you're setting targets on the 4 hour time frame. So again, looking at the hourly in the direction of the 4 hourly, you could have traded that from that bounce on the 61% level, and then further, and I'll just put in these fractals to show you some potential trading ideas. So when the moving average of the CCI broke to the upside, you could have potentially taken some long trades. Zooming in a bit, when a fractal broke when the bar broke above the fractal, and you would have been in those trades there. And I've got those blue lines are basically 1% targets, and I'll use 1% targets for the hourly, or a 5% target on the daily, and something in between, maybe a 2% target, 2 or 3% target on the 4 hourly. But I'm just showing you here the hourly trade examples. So you would have gone long there, and only go long when it breaks above the fractal. Don't go long any other time. So for example, back here when it broke, above the fractal, you wouldn't go long in those other bars because you possibly missed the boat on that one and that one. So only go long when it breaks the fractal, like it did in that case. So you can see there you would have had a number of nice little trades, and each of those spikes up indicates a long entry. Up until more recently, those long trades there, because you're hitting this resistance area, I would avoid going long because you're too close to the resistance, and possibly that would have been the last trade you would have made when the bar was broken down here well below this resistance. So that would have been a very risky trade to make at that level there. It would have been the last trade you would have made would have been in that little range there. So again, some trading ideas, and if you get caught out trading in the very high end of the trend there, reference some of the links in the description below to understand how to properly trade using the average down approach. Subscribe and like the channel, support us more on Patreon, and we'll see you in a future video.